As lawyers and think, we often end up in a situation where our clients have a dispute. We always try to find a way to mediate the dispute so that we minimize legal costs of having a full-blown litigation or dispute. And we also end up in a position where we might try and negotiate a settlement agreement or a mediation. Now, generally, when you have a contract, you have to choose what type of dispute resolution you want. The most common ones are starting with mediation. In some countries, mediation is binding, and in some countries it isn't. But the normal ways to resolve a dispute are either by way of arbitration or by way of litigation. Today's video explores what arbitration is and why partners choose it. Now, arbitration is really a private dispute resolution process where parties appoint one or more arbitrators. It can be usually up to 3 if it's a complex one, instead of going to a court of law. And the decision or the award is binding and enforceable under most arbitration acts and arbitration rules. Now, what are the benefits of arbitration? First of all, it's a neutral forum, so great for cross-border disputes, which we see a lot in the UAE. It's confidential, unlike court proceedings, which are usually reported in most countries. There's a lot of flexibility in procedure, language, the seat, arbitrators, and there is a strong enforceability of arbitration under the New York Convention, which has over 160 countries. So this is basically when countries sign an agreement where they agree to abide by or enforce other awards that may come. So, for example, the UAE is also a member of the New York Convention, which means a UAE arbitration would be enforceable in other. You also have the ability to choose industry specialist arbitrators, so accountants or somebody in the hotel industry or someone very specific to the problem that you're facing and has knowledge. Now, obviously, there are disadvantages of arbitration. It can be more expensive in litigation, especially in the UAE. Arbitrator fees and institution costs can be high in certain instances. It can sometimes be as slow as litigation because UAE courts are super quick, and there are sometimes limited grounds for appeal. And there is no such thing as interim relief, or what we call an interim injunction, if you need to stop somebody from doing something bad whilst the dispute is ongoing. Now, UAE has become very arbitration friendly. It's obviously a very strategic hub between MENA, Africa, etc. There is strong governmental support for arbitration as a forum for dispute resolution. And there are mainly 2 legal frameworks. One is onshore, which is under the UAE Arbitration Act, which is Federal Law 6 of 2018, in case you were interested, and Dubai Courts as a supervisory kind of court. And then DIFC has its own arbitration law, but the DIFC courts are supportive, but DIFC LCIA was recently abolished, and all of its cases went to Dubai International Arbitration Center, which a lot of people don't really realize. What really happened was in 2021, DIFC LCIA was abolished by decree, and all of its cases were transferred. And the main reasons were really like institutional consolidation, because there was too much fragmentation around, and the Dubai International Arbitration Center, the government wanted to strengthen that as a single flagship arbitration center. What you do need to understand and remember is that arbitration can be very arduous. We normally typically use it in very big value contracts or contracts where we have a lot of construction aspects or technical aspects, because then arbitrators can be technically qualified and you're not relying on a judge or a court system that may not have the necessary credentials to manage that particular kind of case in arbitration. So it's a very useful forum. It's very much worth considering, but you still do have to weigh the pros and cons between arbitration and litigation, depending on the nature of your dispute, where you are, which jurisdiction you're operating under. Thank you so much for watching Think Tank this week.